Hi, I'm Mark, and I've smoked, cool, crikey, for over 40 years.
Hi, Mark. When did you start smoking then and why?
Um, I think originally what we're talking about, oh, crikey, I've got to go back 40 years for a start. So it's got to be around about, you know, 1980-ish. I don't know, it's just the kind of thing that you sort of did at that age. It's almost like I don't know, like a rites of passage thing. And I can't really justify why now, being older, but it was just something that you did and you experimented with. And before you knew it, you were doing it more regularly and it was in your blood.
Yeah. So, did you enjoy it then? Did you enjoy
I
smoking?
don't
Or was
think
that?
initially I did. I do remember when I was younger, I don't know, somewhere about 10, I think we sort of tried some cigarettes then and it was really horrible. But that was really sort of exploring as a kid with just sort of like within a group. But yeah, I can't say I particularly enjoyed it, but you kind of, I don't know, you go through a phase, you get to go through a barrier where it's pretty unpleasant, and then all of a sudden, it seems an awful lot better.
Yeah. And you're addicted, I guess.
Yeah, and that's when you get addicted, and then it's like how you associate part of our addiction. Like you have it, like after meals, always been quite satisfying. Down the pub after having a few drinks, all of a sudden it seems to work too well, and yeah, and those other things, like it's like a social break as well. And it's good if, like things like working, you always think, oh, I've got to have a cigarette break. And it's a chance to break up your day.
Why did you want to give up smoking?
Well, I think throughout your smoking journey, I suppose, there are always times when you feel, that it's not the right thing to do. You've got a price to pay at some point. And it's, trying to save money, trying to feel a bit healthier. But of course, when you're a bit younger, you don't tend to show so many symptoms. It's really as you get older, all of a sudden, a wheeze here, a wheeze there, getting up the stairs doesn't feel quite as easy as it used to. And, you'll blame it on age, but, sometimes it's just, bad habits catch up with you.
How many times have you tried to give up smoking then?
Seriously, not really. None, I would say. I think it's more, I don't know, for me, it was more of an age thing because you're getting up in numbers and it's a mindset thing. And in some ways, I think because being a bit older, your body kind of talks to you and says, I don't really want this. Any chance you could maybe, stop doing it? And then I think it's a matter of being able to do the right thing in the right way. For example, avoiding temptation. So, for example, someone like me now who has stopped, but if I was to go back to my old haunts, go down the pub, see old friends, before you know it, you're doing exactly the same things. You're drinking too much and you're smoking. And, it's like you've never really got rid of it. So avoiding the temptation, I think, is a big factor, but you've got to be ready to do it as well.
So, you said you have stopped now. So, did you just go cold turkey or did you cut down gradually? How did you stop?
Well, mine was, I suppose, over time, you probably smoke a little bit less than you used to, but to a certain extent, it was cold turkey. We moved from one area to another, and that changed some of my habits. And I think it was easier to stop smoking moving somewhere different, where you didn't have those temptations and routines. So I can now actually switch it on and off as easily as, turning a light switch, which I never would have been able to do before. And I'm not particularly that proud about it either. But if I was to go back to like I said, my old area where I used to do most of my smoking, I could still do it again. But when I come away, it's like I can stop it. And
So,
it's very easy to do it. And it's like anything, it's always a kind of like a routine based thing. You get into habits of doing certain things. So, like go in there, smoke, come back, stop. You keep doing that enough times and it's your routine. And smoking is all about routines, other than that, and,
so you
the
didn't,
addiction.
yeah, so you didn't need any nicotine addiction aids or anything like
No, I
that?
think I did try something in my 20s or something, but, it was pretty nasty. I mean, it's like eating cigarettes. So, where's the fun in that? At least I enjoyed the smoking part.
Right. And how do you feel that peer to peer support helps? Obviously, you mentioned peer to peer support gets you smoking when you go back to see your old friends and colleagues. What about now?
Uh, it's easy now. I don't have the urge to do it.
But are you surrounded by people that are...
No, I'm not, you know, but that's part of it. You don't surround yourself with people because it's so easy to sort of like, oh, let's go for a drink. Oh, let's pop outside for a quick fag. You know, and one becomes back to doing, you know, 10, 15 a day. It's so easy for that addiction to come back. I don't think it ever really goes away. It's always there lurking, you know, like shadow in your mind, and you just can never completely get rid of it, but you can put yourself in positions so that it's less appealing and that temptation is not there.